Right, so need to fix up my bike. My wheel is a bit wonky, and apparently all it takes is to correct the spokes on it. Now, I wasn't even aware of that. I thought I may need a whole new wheel, so this is quite a relief. Stu here, he's the man, and although he hasn't actually done it before, he's looked it up or whatever, he's got the right key, he's going to have a bash at it, and hopefully, fingers crossed, I'll get a straight wheel.
Cool. Right, this is the spoke key. We're going to basically try and true Tara's front wheel. So, my experience of truing bicycle wheels is extremely limited.
Pimp my ride.
Pimp My Ride, this is not going to be anything like Pimp My Ride, so you can probably see the wave in the wheel where it's going between the pads there. The problem is, because these are rim brakes, you need to have your wheel pretty much exactly straight. I think it's got 2 bends in it. I'm trying to use the pads themselves as the thing to decide whether it's right, and then on this one I need to loosen it to let it come across. So there's a big one by the label and the valve there. So I need to loosen this one, which means I've got to tighten it. Right, hopefully the cameras can see this, but we're getting pretty close now. Pretty close to true. I'm just trying to spot the last little imperfections in it. They're so subtle now that it's just harder to pinpoint where exactly in the rim they are. Well, I think we're going to go with that, to be honest. Reasonable. I'm quite excited. If this works, it's the first time I've ever trued a wheel, and it's
A breakthrough.
What did you do with this then? You just obviously loosened the cable off so it
Yeah.
doesn't touch either side.
Yeah. I pulled it out.
So how did you do it then? How did you initially bend the wheel?
I stacked it in a ditch. It was a rainy day.
Yeah.
And I didn't see the ditch coming. And the front, because of the weight of the bike, as it's slipped into the ditch, the weight, I think, just took the wheel.
So you kind of nosedived into it and...
Yeah, sort of nosedived and slid to the side a bit, so...
And then the next thing we need to do is this. I haven't done V-brakes for ages. I used to have one on the rear wheel of my old bike.
When you say V-brakes, I guess you're talking these are V-brakes then?
Yeah, this is a V-brake where the calipers on these posts at the top of the fork, and it's that thing is the V-brake, the 2 arms. It's rubbing.
Okay.
So there's a lot of movement on that side and not a lot on this side, so what we do then is this little screw here adjusts the tension of the spring in the back, and that wire pulls the arm away from the wheel. So I need to put more tension on this side to have that arm pull away, so that when the brake lets off,
It doesn't stick.
yeah, it moves back far enough to do its job.
Yeah.
I still think the right pad is working more
Yeah,
than the
one.
left pad,
Yeah,
but it's
one's
definitely
doing more work,
better than
innit?
it was. Better than it was. So that is the bike back to the same operational capacity that it was before, but what I think is that it needs significant upgrades. But the thing is, with a bike like this, with this level of componentry, you don't need to spend a lot of money. The main problem with this bike that Tara's experiencing is dragging all the weight up the hills, and that is down to the single speed crankset at the front here. Underneath that plastic cover, you might be able to see it there, there's just one chain ring, and it's quite a big chain ring. On a bike that's designed for this kind of riding, I've got 3 chain rings, and they're different sizes. So if I'm climbing a hill, I put it in the lowest gear, the smallest chain ring, and I fly up hills even with all the weight on board. So the first thing we need to do to this bike is change the crankset. Now the thing is, with the bottom bracket Tara's got, which is this thing here, you can get some really cheap cranksets. We can get a 3-speed crankset for this bike. I've already seen it. It's a Shimano crankset. It's durable. It's going to do the job properly. It's only 90. But then we do need to install a 3-speed shifter on the bar up here. That's the 6-speed for the rear. So we need a 3-speed shifter there. So it's 19 for that, £10 for the 3-speed shifter. We need a derailleur, which we'd have to install around here, that would shift the chain from the things there. That would be another 10. Then we need to put a cable on there. We do it with a sealed cable, and a set of sealed cables is like 20 quid max, and that would do brakes and gears. So all the way up to now, that's 19 plus 10 plus 10 plus 40. Let's say 60 quid. That is like, that would make it into a 3x6 speed bike. And then, you know, you'd fear no hills then, and also you'd probably actually find you were faster on the flat as well, because your biggest chainring would be bigger than the one you've got there. So
But clearly I don't have 60 quid.
right, we don't have 60 quid. This is the thing. I'm going to contribute some of the money because I just love upgrading bikes, and I want to see.
Oh,
You know,
bless you. Thank you.
one day you might ride on somewhere else, or you may even ride home. And if you did ever ride home, I'd escort you, because, you know, I'd love to ride to London one day anyway. And
Oh,
you're
that's
only like a
lovely.
little bit
Yeah,
further than
that'd be
that,
a
so.
nice adventure.
So yeah, this is an appeal for funding. If you're one of Tara's viewers, maybe you want to donate and help her out with this. And if you're one of my viewers and you feel like donating, we've already got £5 in the kitty, which was donated by Mr. Zippity Doodah. Thank you very much, my friend.
Thank you, Zippy.
And then, you know, if we had more money, you don't have a toolkit of any kind, do you?
No, not really. I've got a little Leatherman that's pretty much broken up. But
Little Leatherman. So we'd get one of these little tools, and you can get a half decent multi-tool for about 10 quid maybe. Puncher kit. She doesn't even have a puncher kit, which isn't too much of a problem when you've got Shroudby Marathon Plus or whatever they are tyres.
yeah,
They're
pretty good tyres, yeah.
they're like meant to be puncture proof. They've got a really good reputation, but puncher kit's a good idea. A pump. So here's the thing: 60 quid will get us 3-speed at the front, and 100 quid would get lights, toolkit, puncher kit,
And a pump. I don't even own a pump.
and a pump. Yeah, I've got a 10 quid pump on my bike, and it's absolutely fine. So
Yeah, you don't have to spend a lot
That's
on
it.
those things. It's just one of, you know, for me, there's always there's more things that have a higher priority than a pump all
Yeah.
the time, you know, like
That's
food
it.
and.
That's it.
And I always think, well, if it gets desperate, I'll just find some other bike rider and ask if they've got a pump.
That's it. Yeah. So there you go. If you want to donate, if you want to help out this epic traveller, well, 2 epic travellers, Tara herself and the Amoco Classique is an epic traveller itself. Let's upgrade this bike. Donate. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It would be appreciated. Love you all.
To donate to assist us in making upgrades to Tara's Amoco Classique, please find details in the description box below. If you wish to receive personal acknowledgement in the forthcoming upgrade video, please email Tara or myself with your name. Email address is below also. Thank you.